Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Count Christo and this is the War of Three Oceans. We, obviously, are the wonderful Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere, and I thought I would just hop into the faction map mode, show you what's going on in the world right now. Obviously, the majority of the majority of Africa, rather, is controlled by the Allies, but the Pact of Rome is making real gains in Northern Africa, and they've taken almost all of Egypt. They're also probably going to start making serious gains in the northwestern African front now that nationalist Spain has declared themselves for the Axis. I can only imagine there's going to be some serious problems for the remaining Allied forces there. The Axis remains very stagnant. They didn't successfully invade the Allies. In fact, they haven't even taken Copenhagen yet, which is outrageous. I don't know what the Comintern is going to do next. If they go to war with Turkey, I suspect Turkey could join the Axis or the Pact of Rome rather than the Allies. It's not entirely implausible. I've also noticed that we absolutely should not be pushing forward here and here, because this defensive line right here is perfect. So these titchy little divisions, I think I'm going to just begin taking up defensive positions against the Soviet Union. I don't intend to do a war against the Soviets. 6, 7, 8, 9 in this campaign. I think that's outside of the scope of what we want to accomplish this game. But just as a defensive measure, I think it would behoove us to have some men ready on the front if they were to make some aggressive moves. We do, of course, want to be ready for them. Do still need to push them out of here. Let's slow it down. Okay, that is too loud. There we go. Alright. In terms of invasions in the Pacific, I think we want to move our attention over, steal some of these naval bases in the Indian Ocean, especially Ceylon. That's a bunch of rubber that I do not want under Allied control. So I suppose what I'll do is the 2nd Burmese Army. Your tank divisions, I would like, maybe in my Australia invasion force, could do with some tanks. So let's have them head over here. Sorry, that's the, you go here and then sign there. Good. What else do I want to steal from the Burmese front? We could do some light little... I mean, I very much doubt these areas are going to be actually defended by the Allies. We've thoroughly trashed them in this region. So, I am, very skeptical they're actually going to be defending any of these ports. So we'll just launch a bunch of likely unopposed naval invasions. We want to take all these just so they don't have anywhere to base their ships out of in this region, so they're not able to either mess with my convoys or operate any kind of strike forces to take back this region. We want them to be having to, if they do come over here, I want them to have to come from a very long way away. Of course, Italy is going to push them out of this region anyway, just by cutting off their supply in southern Africa. But if we could take South Africa, I think that would make a nice place to base some raiding fleets in this area, maybe. So we will we'll press on with this. All right, you Goa is going to be our main base here, it looks like. And yeah, I think even just some 10 wits will probably be enough to grab most of these places. Madagascar, it might be defended, but again, I think it's unlikely. Any others that I've missed? Yep, one way down there. We're going to have to, of course, redeploy some fleets to be able to pull these off. Are there any hostile fleets active in these regions? Not that I know of. There are some hostile mines around here, interestingly enough. I haven't come across any enemy mines yet. Have they been setting any mines off my coasts? No. I wonder if there are any in the Med. Some friendly mines. By friends, I suppose it just means, people on our side in the war. English Channel has some mines. Interesting. Ooh, lots of mines off the Iberian coast. Trying to keep those maybe African coast as well? Yeah, they're trying to block them into the Mediterranean. Well, you shouldn't have lost the Suez then, should you, allies? Alright. A few more of these invasions. If you would grab here for me, that'd be grand. Any others? Have I missed any islands? This one. You will do for that. Great. Okay, I think that's all the ports on the actual islands. We're not going to invade the whole East African coastline. That seems excessive. We can let Italy do that. Okay, with those planning, I think we can unpause, and we'll have our invasion forces move into position, ready to take on the Australians. Now, knowing that the Australians are the prime target, let's move our raiding forces out of the Pacific and have them focus where it matters down here. Although probably also West Polynesia would be nice too. Just really this whole region, get them all pinned in. I think that covers all their ports in that area. Excellent. You guys, one of you is damaged, isn't it? Yeah. It should be. Why aren't you repairing? Oh, I've pressed a button wrong. There we go. Now I think you're allowed to repair. Oh, they have them set to never repair. Well, that makes all kinds of sense then. How about now? There we go, repairing. Good. Scouting forces. Some of them have taken some hits, it looks like. Or is this a new one? I think that's a new one. I have some fresh anti-sub and scouting ships for you, though. So here you are. I'll get you topped off. Do either of these have 2 cruisers? No, alright. I'll steal a relatively fast... Yeah, here. This Moko... Oh, here. This one's not damaged. You can go in there to give them a little bit of capital ship backup in the case they find themselves in combat. But it does appear that we have got no enemy ships over here anymore. Now that we've taken out all their ports in this region, we're seeming to be in pretty good shape. Ah, yes, hello. Good job. Taking that island. You can be based out of there now. We could launch more invasions against Alaska. It's a big land border with the US, though. I mean, you know, via Canada, and obviously they're both in the Allies. So we won't worry about that just yet. We'll be content to stay on our Pacific Islands while we wrap up the situation down here. And there's a couple more I'd like to seize as we head in that direction. Okay, let's just make sure we do actually secure all of these. You're not moving in my direction, are you? Oh, you are. Let's make sure he doesn't make any headway. Outdated equipment, probably just, yeah, the old scout ship. Oh, which actually I haven't set off. Cool, I should really close Facebook so we don't get ponged. Alright, there we go. The old scout is just on one line now. Good, I think that's the newer... what's the new tech on my new scout ship? So is it the sub-detection? Or is it just more depth charges? Yeah, much more depth charges. Nice. You guys can take those guys out. That would be nice. And now this lot... are not the invasion... No, no, those are the invasion ones, aren't they? These guys are the ones that are a bit of a loose end. And these guys here. Okay. We're also going to need some port garrisons. Do I have spare port garrison troops? Some up here. And there might be some that were in the mid-Atlantic area as well. So start setting up some of these. There aren't very many ports in quite large swathes of India, so it won't take as many men to garrison as you might think. Alright, you guys, U-22, I think I will deploy ready to launch one of the 3 invasions against Australia. 'Cause it's a big, I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but Australia, it's a freaking big place. So let's get these guys preparing for a naval invasion from Singapore. We'll launch them down into Perth. Half there, half either side. Seems good. There we go. Or half on one side. That should be okay. I don't have to attack across that river. Good. They can start getting ready for that. You lot. Where are you headed? I have you based. Oh yes, I was going to take the Dutch East Indies first, wasn't I? Yeah. So. Oh, sorry. Finish off the Dutch East Indies, I suppose. Take Guinea would be a more appropriate way of putting that. You guys can land on the port directly. You guys can land next door. And let's just really make sure we get this. You guys can land to the other side. Great. What did I just do? Not what I intended, that's for sure. It was these three, I think. From here to here. Should be 3 in each of these. Just 2 in that one. Now 3. Good. Next 3 can go... Any ports on the southern side of this island? No, but there is one here, so we're going to grab that. Next 3 can launch off towards some of these Australian-controlled ports further along. Good. And then the other force, we will send at the rest of these ports in the region, as well as grabbing a bunch of these islands. In fact, the islands won't take nearly as much taking, as it were, so we will simplify things there somewhat. Why can't I assign you to this order? Excuse me? Game? Feeling okay? From here to here. Assign. He doesn't like it. I may be up to my naval invasion limit, actually. So let's change these guys' orders in that we're going to just delete them all. And then they can just arrive there. And we'll plan that afterwards. So, back to you guys. Just one of you on this. Grabbing all these little ports. It's not, you know, it's not going to help us much in terms of our... I keep forgetting I don't need to use different ports for different invasions. It's not going to help us much in terms of our naval dominance over the region. But it is going to hurt. I mean, well, it is. But it's going to do so by hurting our enemy's presence rather than by giving us any new bases. We don't really need these ports. They're going to have really bad actual levels, so we're not going to be able to base many ships out of them or repair much in them. But it's worth grabbing them all. Again, same reason we were grabbing the ports in the Indian Ocean. We don't want any of those darn allies operating in my Pacific. Actually taking Australia itself is going to have to be a second wave, it looks like, because there's so many ports. It's going to... whoops. You got on that one. It's going to take me my entire naval invasion capacity just to land on all this lot. Any more? For any more? Yep, one over there. Grab that for me. Any more further along that I've missed? Yep, one there. Might as well grab that now as well. Just expedite the process for the future. And I think that's my naval invasion capacity. It's weird that it's not saying naval invasion capacity reached when I try and do that. Oh, it's not even letting me select this thing at all. Oh, that's most strange. Did I edit one of the other invasions by mistake? No? Huh. Not sure what that's about then. Remaining guys of you not assigned to an invasion can go here in preparation for probably being sent to maybe assist wrapping up Guinea. I suspect maybe there'll be a more stern defense of Guinea, but I mean Australia has 1 division, so no divisions anymore. So what will have happened there almost certainly is the Australians will have tried to go and reinforce lots of the other places we were taking, and then they all just got sunk. So that is always a concern. That's why they shouldn't have tried to reinforce the island. They should have stayed on your island down there, Australia. Shouldn't be heading out into my territory. So we don't appear to be raided up here anymore. So I'm going to withdraw my screening forces from up there and instead deploy them. Oh no, I can reach here. Just good. Deploy them to these areas to give myself some control there. Floating airfield. Why was that silent? Oh, I just muted the wrong thing. I was trying to mute the internet, and instead I muted Hoy itself. Oh, but I can't mute the internet. Good lord. Alright. There we go. That'll work. Floating airfield. Nice. I'm going to keep going down the carrier path, I think. Seems worthwhile to me. For fairly obvious reasons, I hope. The main strike force can position itself to support these invasions, because I think they're most likely to be contested. So I'll have it move over to Bombay. And the Beta Strike Force can come out of Java. Don't never repair, but just split off. Yeah, good. Alright, they should be on their way to Java. Alright, and the scout forces, we'll see. We'll see. Many of them are trying to repair. Yeah, so the problem, as it turns out, with having these individual ones is they're just way too susceptible to an enemy aerial attack. So we're not gonna mess with them anymore. We'll put them into this screening group. Sorry, into this scouting group instead. And you honestly need merging in. So we only have one decent spotting task force left, which is not ideal. Want to give me some Lend-Lease? Yeah, sure. More just easy convoy naval combat. All good. Sorry about the sirens. 'Tis ever the way. Large ships at low strength. Oh yeah, this guy, he got damaged. That's fine. They're unlikely to be damaged more. And when they reach the strike force, they will find that automatic split off is enabled on all of them. Good. Okay, a little bit of resistance, apparently. This map mode... Ah, I was going to say this map mode is less clear than it used to be, because it looks like it's growing all over the place. It is, in fact. No, but yeah, this is... It's showing the same colour here and here. Where here it's not growing and here it is. I think that's a bug, because the occupation policy is the thing that means it's not growing here right now. Speaking of occupation policy, I've decided we've got pretty much... We have the political power we need now. You know, I've bought all the stuff that I'm really interested in. So I'm going to go to harshest occupation law against everyone. Just to get the most factories and resources out of these areas. And that will... No doubt, yeah, so look at that, another bunch of factories. And that will no doubt cause some problems when it comes to resistance. But we have the manpower and the infantry equipment to deal with basically all the resistance that we are ever likely to face. Let's go over the top on carrier plane production. Okay, so now, we've got this resistance. Let's deploy the men to deal with it. So, it's going to have to be done bit by bit. Good lord, it's growing by one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are quite a lot of Indians, I guess. I suppose there are quite a few of these chaps. Most densely populated place on the whole freaking planet. Yeah, gonna need 3 there. At the moment, anyway. Is this wise? I think it's wise. Are we still gaining? Yeah, we're still getting a bit of political power. So I think this will work out pretty well. Any here? Yeah, a little bit there. Even with my port defenders, that's impressive. None there, none there. Good. And I think there... We could guess where there will be resistance, but I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just deal with it as it actually arises once the men are out of the way. Now, who didn't have an... I saw someone without an order. Yeah, so you guys... The second Burmese army. The first one is covering here and here and here. I guess you are now the Soviet contingency. How do you spell contingency? I'm terrible at spelling. I make no apology for this. I actually got it right. It's a miracle. No, I didn't. I missed the N. Fair enough. Okay, this is the Soviet contingency force. So you guys, your raid against Mongolia. Good. That won't be enough men to cover the entire Mongolian border, but that's okay. It's only a contingency. We could also deploy, you know, another wave of 40s. Just to beef up my contingency plans a bit. Man the Manchurian and Sakhalin borders. I think we're also going to need some more 20 wits. They're actually out of infantry equipment now, but that's okay. We're making it at a hell of a rate. Where didn't I still have some? Yeah. We do still have some 10 wits. Good. Okay, you guys. Onto the home front. There must be some more ports I've missed. Got that one. Got that one. Got these two. Maybe I already did them all. Nice. Go me. Oh, right. Yes, there are a few just there. Oh, that's a Pacific port, actually. Let's not get these guys be all disorganized. All right. So one for you. One for you. Anywhere else? These new ports over here, perhaps? They look like they're mostly all garrisoned. Oh, there are some American ports I neglected to invade, however. Don't you hate that when you neglect to invade somewhere? All right, you three. We'll do some plans for that. You guys can go here. You guys can hop over to the middle. And you guessed it. You're headed for the southern one. Lovely jubbly. Okay, we still have superiority in these regions, just from my miners, which is always fun. Next step for my mining fleets, I think, is just to mine the western seaboard. So if they ever try and leave these ports, we put them in trouble. That seems fun. But I'm going to leave them here for now. Just because they need to patrol and make sure we don't lose naval superiority for these invasions. Those guys can all just launch when ready. Pacific ones, launch when ready. It's not, seems to not be doing it. Anyway, home guys, you guys don't have any invasions. You, what are you? Ah, yes, this area. We should get those justifications done. Do I want to do them at once? It's going to cost more. Nah, no point. To make it take an excessive amount of time. And yeah, these guys do need a bit of training. Let's give them a general. Just to give someone a bit of training, that's fine. And then they can go and join the Soviet contingency plan once they've wrapped up these little internal areas. Good. Okay, resistance. Yeah, this, I really hope this is either a bug or something that can be changed, because this resistance map mode is, it used to be helpful. Now it doesn't really show me anything on this screen. I think that's because it's basing it off current resistance levels rather than, you know, what the resistance level will be, which is what I'm... Oh, sorry, how much it's changing by, which is what I'm interested in. Did I not assign anyone to any of these invasions? Oh, I'm a fool. Which are these in? How did that happen? Ah, is it because it was these guys, wasn't it? Yeah. I am a fool. Oh well. Won't take me long to redo it. Drawing them is the time-consuming bit. You're the one that's already been reassigned. Okay, is that all of them? No, one over here. There we go. Okay, now we should be good. And you guys launch your plans when ready. Which means I should probably say, but don't actually, like, think you're invading on Mongolia. Not that they would invade into, like, neutral territory, but just so there's no confusion. You guys, can't actually operate down here. Alright, give me a long-range battleship. You're temporarily going to be responsible for convoy escorting in this ocean. Good. Bunch more 20 wits. Oh, I already have this. I already have a bunch more queued up. Okay, we definitely don't need you. You guys just go into another home thing. I'll call on you as and when I have need on you. Need on you? Need of you. Your services will be requested at that point. Alright, you guys, don't think I want them to just launch straight away. They're lacking Eastern Micronesia. Alright, you. What are you? Ah, yes. That guy, I never took away the main strike force's orders to go up here. The miners can spread out a bit to get me the superiority I need there, I think. So, missing anywhere? Yeah, French Polynesia. Ah, right, of course. These ones all the way out here. You know what? The miners... can't reach. We'll need to send a longer range vessel to go and get me some there. Enemy has air superiority over southern India. Probably flying out of Sri Lanka. That's okay. Our invasion of Sri Lanka will take place relatively shortly. Where's my... Did I not send someone to the center here? Could have sworn I did, but I guess I am mistaken. And here, shrinking, shrinking. Growing, but will be shrinking based on our garrison units. There goes Tibet. And they're all going to join the Allies, but that's fine. Very cheap in terms of political power. You guys stop training, begin training through combat. Just take the capital. I mean, that's probably... Capital might be enough to capitulate them. I can't remember, to be honest. I have invaded Nepal before, but it's been a while, if I'm honest. It's been a long while. Okay. Finally, Denmark has capitulated. Germany, that took an embarrassing long time. I did notice in between sessions, by the way, that Italy did some pretty sterling work capturing full control over all of the Dutch and Belgian states here. They didn't quite get Wallonia, but they got all of the dockyards on the outside, which is pretty impressive. Iceland has declared their independence. I can't remember if there's an event. I think it's a decision that the Brits can use to reenact their the historical invasion of Iceland. Small arms modernization. Nice. And yes, we will go supremacy of technology to give us that research speed buff. They've actually kicked us out. They held us off. Impressive. Won't help them, of course, but it was mostly just because our guys had no organization. But still, impressive nonetheless. Tibet being swallowed up from many sides. We could move the front line to here, here, and here. That would be just as good defensively in terms of number of directions they can attach each of the tiles, and they're all still mountains, so sure, why not? We'll push it forward to the actual edge of the Baluchistan state. Well, I mean, we're pushing into mountains, so that's why not, to answer my own question. Let's not do that. No need throwing away Japanese lives, taking land that the Soviets can take and hold just as well, and that won't actually cause us any problems. That's a silly order to do that in. There we go. Okay, I need some more garrisons, please. Does Sri Lanka count as a home or a Pacific garrison? It doesn't matter, a huge deal. There goes the Nepalese justification. Now get me the mighty Bhutan. The Thunder Dragon Empire will not be rising to this day. Of course, they join the Allies, but that's fine. If you want to just help us wrap that up as well, that'd be grand. Let's be having you, Tibet. And we'll put some men up there to police the area as well. You're done, you're done, you're done. This area doesn't have any victory points. Ditto. Oh, but this place is growing even... Oh, right, because Goa is not actually in that area. Fair enough. This order is... Well, we won't delete it till those guys have left. There goes Nepal. Are you guys both... Ah, I didn't. I duplicated my garrison in this region unnecessarily. That's fine. We can send someone down here to garrison there. He's heading up. You should be on that naval invasion. Not that it really matters, but, you know, speed things along. There goes the Maldives, falling to their rightful owners. More free military factories. I mean, it's very short term to do this, but hey, we're short on support equipment. Give me a bunch of factories on support equipment. That's fine. There goes Tibet. And just a couple more days, and then we can kill Bhutan. Name looking much more pleasing. That's what it's all about, after all. Anywhere else with resistance? Here, but we've dealt with that. Okay. So, you guys ready for the invasions over here? Looks like they're mostly ready. Let's kick it off. Off you go, my glorious soldiers. Not launching here. Because need superiority in the Java Sea, but that's fine. We have it now. Alright, across the Pacific. What is this, like the fourth massive wave of invasions? But we will play out those invasions in the next episode. Until then, thank you ever so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. I will see you in the next one for the capturing of all of these regions, and then the invasion against Australia can commence. See you then.